Poverty can be traumatic for a lot of people. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I have worked with victims of abuse and perpetrators of abuse for many, many years. Over the years, I have worked a lot with children, adults who were children that grew up in abusive situations, and poverty being one of those characteristics of the abusive situations that they grew up in. And in particular, when there is like poverty and chaos, or when you live in squalor, so that means that the situation where it's extremely dirty and filthy, or when there's lack of food and other resources to go around. There are a lot of victims that I've worked with over the years that is very traumatic, and one of the reasons that people oftentimes try to work and overachieve to become successful is because they never ever want to revisit that situation of poverty ever again, or the circumstances in which they were exposed to poverty, and that is very traumatic. So a lot of times what the women and men that I've worked with will do, some of the symptoms that they may suffer from in terms of poverty trauma, so to speak, is that they don't want to have children. They are obsessive about keeping their space clean. They always want to make sure that they are maybe overly stocked on food and other items and things like that. I've even worked with children and things like that in group homes that came from poverty-stricken conditions, where one of their trauma can manifest a little bit differently too, in terms of hoarding things that they may not get access to. So they may hoard food and other things like that because they've experienced periods where they haven't had food. And also too, with people, another thing that they may do is try to make sure that they have living conditions with a whole lot of space, right? They want to be spread out because maybe they grew up in a situation where they themselves and their siblings were pretty much on top of each other all the time. And so, as a reaction to that, they actually need additional space, and they may overdo it in terms of the resources that they may need. So they may shop for clothes and shoes like that and have excess of things, just so that they can make sure that they always have enough, more than enough, right? Even when it's apparent that they do. Again, their trigger is to make sure that they always have more than enough resources, more than enough money, and things like that, to make sure that they feel afraid about growing up in poverty situations. Another type of trauma that a lot of people who grew up in poverty and crowded family situations may have is money trauma. And so they may have trouble with managing money or their emotions around money and spending and or saving habits. And so that is a very real, so there can be some trauma around that. That's all I have for today. Thank you.